Well, folks, what an intro. Uh, I don't like doing videos like this. I bought this lathe. I knew what I was getting into. It's Asian lathe. It was labeled as a Preenex on eBay. I think it's the same thing as the V4 or a bunch of other no-name lathes. This was supposedly the higher-end machine. I think it was around $900. Maybe a little over once it's said and done. This thing's just been a nightmare, just one thing after another. Would I recommend buying one of these? Hell no. If you're just doing simple things, maybe, but what I needed the lathe for, I should have just held out, spent some more money, and picked up a used, old school industrial lathe or something. And once everything's said and done here, I may end up doing that, but then again, I may not. Maybe one of the even more higher end, like a Grizzly or something, maybe that lathe would be fine, but these that are just floating all over eBay, I'd just steer clear of it. First things first, when I got this one out of the box, it would not even run, or the crate rather, and it is heavy. I think it weighs 150, 175 or so, or maybe heavy to most people, but I can handle it by myself pretty easily. But it does have a fuse, think like an old microwave fuse, or like a fuse, one of the long ones, that would go in like an old vehicle, like, pre, say, 1985 or something. I don't know when they quit using those things, but that one was blown. They did have an extra with it, put that one in it, it lit up and ran. There was some problems with the pulleys. It wasn't a big deal. I got it straightened out and quietened out. It was making a lot of noise. The carriage, you constantly have to tighten it up if you're trying to get anything, super duper precise. Good luck with it. You're gonna have to take your time. I'd made the mistake of buying one of those, you probably see it in there, cheap ass quick release changes. That thing was horrible. It worked okay on some things, like if you was facing a piece of aluminum or something, like a piston and a small engine, which is what I primarily bought this for, is to do machine work on chainsaw cylinders and pistons. So far I've been successful, but I have screwed up my fair amount of cylinders. Most of them were junk that I was practicing with. They're just $15, $20 Chinese stuff. But if you get one of these to do that with, just be patient, take your time. I ain't gonna say they don't work, because they do, but let's get into some other issues. When one of them I honestly just figured out today, actually two of them, but this switch, you seen I moved it. Takes it forever to respond. Wasn't that way when I bought it. There, it didn't even. It ain't so bad up high. Now it's working. It's mainly down toward the low end of things. Sometimes it'll completely, like there. And this is just like minuscule, nitpicky stuff, but if you're trying to get that set at a certain RPM, like I'm moving it there and nothing, there we go. Just little nitpicky things like that drive me crazy. Like I said, $900. I expected a little better. I'm sure like the $400 or $500 one would have been just fine. It's supposed to have the brushless, like a 1.5 horse motor. It stalls out pretty easy, but when it stalls, you can hear the belt kind of setting, trying to slip, but I don't recommend doing that anyway. The self-feed mechanism on it does seem to work decent, but it is a threaded one, so, don't expect to be cutting any perfect threads with this thing or anything. Honestly, I wouldn't even want to try to cut threads with it. Now, to the even worse stuff, could be the cutter I'm using, maybe not, but let me back this off. You better get some indicators. You're gonna need them. That one come from Summit Racing. It's a pretty nice piece. I think it was less than 20 bucks, and I already had the magnetic stand. This cutter is all the way shimmed to the top of the tool post. As you can see, it's still not perfectly dead center. The proper way to center these is buy your tailstock, or to use your, your dead center, which comes with it. They come with just a center that's just stationary. It don't spin or anything. But what I was going to do is just come in, knock a little tid on that back down. What I done was took a live center and kind of made like a mini bullnose center out of it. If you fool with the saws and the cylinders, you probably know why. But what I'd done was like, well, I'll just come in with this bit. And there's no adjustment to this. The tailstock is completely against the rails. That has a name for it. I'm just not for sure, but I'm not a machinist. I've turned a lot of rotors and drums and things over the years and used some pretty good equipment, honestly. The bunch I worked for years ago owned a machine shop as well, and there was some pretty nice stuff in there. But check that out. There is no way possible to center that. That's disappointing for you saw guys. I was going to get into some videos. We're going to make some velocity stacks and things, but that's just not going to happen. So what I'm getting at is you're going to have a pretty good tool post other than what's on this to get it completely centered. And I don't know what the hell to tell you about this. And another thing about this, the original locking mechanism for your tapered shaft, I think it's a Morse taper, it stripped, busted out like, I don't know, within 3 or 4 months of using this thing. And I drilled and tapped another, made another one, and it stripped as well. Some of the softest, like, I guess it's cast steel. I don't think it's cast iron. It could be, but it's just some cheap cast material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it on out larger and put a helicoil in it, and that should fix it. Other issues, like this stuff strips out. I've tightened that and tightened it, and now the threads are stripped out, so I'm probably going to have to end up doing something similar there, because I'm sure this is just as soft as this. And sounds like I'm ranting. Well, hell I am. It's mine. I paid for it. I can rant about it. Just stupid things like that. But when you do have it all locked down, and say against, go to tightening this down, what it'll do is it'll start pushing the whole tailstock back. And slide that out. What I'd actually done was took this plate off and ground some grooves in it, and that helped a lot. Helped a whole lot, but it's still not right. This is supposedly an 8x16 lathe, so I'm assuming what I'm going to have to do to find, what I'm going to have to find to be able to use this thing to do what. All I need it to do is I'm going to have to find a better, maybe American-made tailstock to go on this, or if it's even worth fooling with at this point, I don't know. But I've had it about 1 year and 7-8 months now or so, going on 2 years. I think about end of June, early July, I'll be 2 years on it. I've had the damn thing, but I have turned a lot of cylinders with it. I have cut a lot of pistons with it, done some other projects here and made some tools. But if you're looking for something that's just super duper precise and there's slack run out and everything, You know, it probably ain't for you. You probably want to keep saving your money and dish out for something better. Harbor Freight lathes, I had one of those here for like a month. I took it back, got a refund on it. That was like the weakest thing, smallest. It said it was a 7 by 10, but hell, I believe it would fit inside of the carriage here on this. You know, it is what it is. Again, I ain't no machinist, so just take all this with a grain of salt. I'm just an honest person that likes to see people get what they pay for, but if you do pick one of these up, be prepared for it to be a headache and to have to fix a lot of just stupid bullshit on it. But anyway, with that said, anybody that watched this, I appreciate it, and you know, I hope it may help you in your judgment of picking one of these up. And with that said, everybody have a great day.